Hi and welcome to In Her Shoes. Today we welcome back Kristin and Ellen from Ruby Cha-Cha. Ruby Cha-Cha uses innovative market research to provide insights and create business stories that allow their clients to solve marketing challenges. Welcome back.
Hi, Susie.
Thanks, Susie.
I'd like to ask you about business partnerships. You're co-founders of the award-winning business Ruby Cha-Cha. But tell us about your business backgrounds. How did you get to be where you are today?
Well, Kristin and I had a 10-year history at a previous employer, which helped us understand the way that we could work together because we'd been working together for 10 years. However, working together in a business partnership is a completely different capacity. So we had a number of learnings along the way that has helped kind of shape the way that we work together now.
Oh, good. Well, I want to ask about those, but tell us firstly, what roles do you play in the business?
Well, I play the role of driving the big picture. Actually, we laugh because, I think I'm very good at starting things often, but, lack that impetus to actually finalise them and deliver. So this is where the two of our personalities play an excellent balance. So strategy and innovation, ideas, but also the sales and marketing side of things I look after.
And I'm more operations focused, so I look after HR, IT, finance, and pretty much the day-to-day running of the organisation. However, we do still cross over, and in terms of strategy and big picture, we both contribute equally to that, but we have responsibilities on delivery. So Kristin has the responsibility of delivering to the business plan, and I have the responsibility of delivering the elements of the business plan that relate to me. So it's quite clear.
Were the roles obvious right from the start, who would do what, or has that evolved over time?
I think that was fairly obvious. I think we know each other from a personality perspective quite well. But other things have evolved. I think, you start playing around or dabbling in an area that's really not quite your skill set, and that becomes pretty evident fairly quickly.
To be honest, I think it takes a little while, even though, we do know one another, it takes a little while of working together to understand what is the optimal use of our time, because we don't want to be obviously stepping on one another's toes and replicating the same sorts of things. So again, there are situations where we feel the optimum use is to work together to nail something quickly. In others, we'll take our separate parts and get on with things.
I think one of the powers is in having people that complement each other and aren't exactly like each other, and it sounds like that's what you're doing. You mentioned that there have been some challenges. Tell us one or two of those, and then the benefits of being in partnership.
Well, I think in any business that starts up, you're not too sure who's going to take on what roles. So as Kristin was saying, there was a bit of duplication. And we sort of sat down and thought, well, we need to see our mentor and we need to get her advice on how we should cope and manage with this. And her advice was to make very, very clear role divisions within the business and to actually write management contracts that relate to those roles. So we have clear boundaries. And it's not that we don't cross over, because we have to from time to time, particularly if somebody's away for a while and so forth. But we're very, very clear on what we need to deliver to. We're clear on what we need to deliver to in terms of the business plan. And our other challenge, I guess, is making sure that our staff understand what responsibilities we have, so that they understand who to go to when they need particular advice.
I was going to actually ask about that, because how do you manage leadership when there's two leaders? How does that work for the staff?
I think that's a really good question, because there are situations, obviously, where it doesn't work, where there is conflict and confusion. There's two reasons why staff look to leadership. One is to help them with day-to-day decision-making and problems and sorting through that sort of thing. And we have an open plan office, and either of us can work on those day-to-day situations, provide input to a proposal, provide answers, provide direction and guidance. But I think at the end of the day, the real confusion comes from, who is my manager or who is responsible for X, Y, Z. And you have to be very, very clear on that, and we've taken steps to make sure that clarity is now embedded in the organisation.
Can I just add, one of the challenges that you have when you're going from 2 or 3 people to, 10 or 12 is getting an organisational structure in place. So at the beginning we had all staff reporting into me, which was a really difficult thing to manage. But we had to wait till we had a critical mass to be able to split the organisation into teams. So we're just undergoing that now and getting middle management in to help us manage the rest of the staff, and that in itself has helped us detail to the staff who is responsible for what. So getting that structure in place is also a critical learning curve.
And that adds a whole different level of dynamic of leadership when you have middle managers.
Absolutely. And I think, the reinforcement there is solidarity as well. No point, it's not like, mum and dad, if mum says no, go to dad. If someone comes to me with an HR question, I'm very clear that's not my domain. You need to see Ellen, and as soon as I know what Ellen's decision is, it's my role to back that up and to reinforce that.
Congratulations again, and thank you both for joining us.
Thanks, Susie.
Thank you, Susie.